Hey, what's going on, y'all? Today, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of goobers. Yes, sure. So today, we're going to be taking a look at three goobers in particular. They're actually kind of famous. You may have heard of them. First guy's name is KSI. He's part of the Sidemen group. He's smaller in the group anyways, but, he's part of the group anyways. We're also going to be talking about Jake Paul's brother, Logan Paul. He's kind of in the scene too. And then there's this other guy on it was a podcast they did. There's this guy named Jimmy, also known as Beast or Mr. There were some numbers in there at some point, but I'm not really sure. They decided, hey, let's do a podcast to promote our new food launch, or our new meal kit, which is going to be Lunchley. Woohoo! Yeah, this is when that was happening. This is before it launched and before all the mold stuff happened. This is when Logan's wife, girlfriend, fiance was still pregnant. And this was like right before she had the kid, I guess, or something along that lines. Because they even make a joke in the podcast about her going into labor at some point. Well, not start the podcast off. I start the clips off here with Jimmy talking about why he hates podcasts, and here's why.
This is why I personally hate doing podcasts, because my opinions change so much over time. And if there's a podcast I did years ago where someone asked me if I'd ever have kids, and I gave the most cringe answer on the face of the universe, where I was like, Elon and Bill Gates have kids, so maybe I'll have kids. And I got clowned on so hard.
Why is that a clown thing?
Because people are like, why would you have a kid just because?
Yeah.
Bill Gates? I mean, that is a stupid answer. I don't try to defend my answer.
No, it's a stupid answer.
It is literally the dumbest
Because
answer.
another human being has kids.
If they're examples or role models and you want to emulate their life,
Yeah,
who cares?
but
Let them
it's-
inspire you.
Of course, but a kid is much more than just a thing you do because of two random people.
No, I disagree. I think two smart people you named are doing something that you may have.
Yeah, but you should have kids because you want to, nurture them and you want to invest in them and you want to, raise their family.
So Jimmy decides to start this all off by saying, oh yeah, I hate podcasts, and proceeds to say why. And Logan just doesn't understand what's wrong with what Jimmy said, as him and KSI are both actively saying, nah, dog, this is dumb as hell. This is cringe. Why the hell would you ever say something like this? And Logan is literally just sitting there like, oh, I don't see the problem with it. I think it's totally okay, And it's crazy, and he's just like, keeps going on about it. But later in the podcast, they end up getting onto the topic again of like, well, Jimmy, do you want kids? And he finally answers. He's like, well, yeah, I do, but not for like at least a decade. And they're like, oh my gosh, a decade? Which prompts Jimmy to kind of respond this way because of the earlier comments about what he said on the last podcast and now this reaction. Personally, that's what I think it is. It's kind of like him throwing it back in Logan's face. But you can see for yourself.
Probably a decade down the road.
Wait, a decade?
Yeah, I'm pushing that stuff. Like, bro, if I had a kid now, yeah, I'd be super upset. I don't know how you're going to balance Prime, WWE, everything you got now, Lunchley. I know you will, and I've obviously talked to him behind the scenes.
So Jimmy just starts to go off on basically how he thinks Logan's not going to be there. He's going to be too gone. He's basically going to be a Hollywood father. And I don't blame him. I don't at all. He brings up three major things just that the public knows about that will keep him from his kid. That being WWE, Lunchley, and Prime. Two of those kind of being one and the same. But even still, they're three different companies that he has to co-CEO on two of them, and one is his own career that he has to actually thrive and push. How are you gonna have time for your kid? And that changes everything. And with the earlier comments about like, well, if two smart people do it, why shouldn't you do it? That's not how you think about it. Jimmy has the right idea, and he's making the smart decision not to have kids because he knows he's not ready. Even you will see in this next clip, it seems like Logan is just very much like, this kid's about the money. Let me elaborate on that a little bit real quick before we get into this clip. So the way I kind of saw this was three completely stark contrasts in the way that people think about kids, with one being Logan Paul as a monetization. That kid is there to make me money. That is, I made him for me. Jimmy is reacting disgusted like a 5-year-old that just saw vomit for the first time. And then KSI over here is kind of like the average dude, I'd say, where he's like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on about this. Like, you can see this shit? Like, you can see the hands coming out? But like Jimmy is genuinely having a physical reaction to just hearing about it.
You're here.
Yeah.
I guess if
She has a
what would I even
baby inside of her stomach. Is
Jimmy,
that not crazy?
It's the weirdest thing
Ugh.
in
How do you plan to have kids? That's not even like the point. Obviously, you can be mentally ready and you can do it. It can happen at any time. How are you physically going to be there if you can even hear someone talking about the kid putting its hand up against their mom's stomach? That is something that's supposed to be just like heartwarming. That's supposed to be something that connects you with your wife and your child, and like it's just something you never forget.
the world.
have you seen like Kick and everything?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dude, her stomach, you'll see her stomach, you'll see baby's like, I don't know, like a body part go like all the way like a little alien punching
Oh
from
my
the
God.
inside.
Has he-
How does that?
Jimmy also goes on to say, like, well, not actually say it.
I mean, that would just destroy my life if I had a kid. Right?
well, I mean, do you wrap up?
Alludes to the fact that he could not have kids even if he wanted to right now.
I mean, I will not have a kid anytime soon.
And him and JJ kind of see that both. Oh, I know Jimmy sees it because he's the one saying it. But JJ picks up on it. He's like, oh, yeah, you don't want to say it. Ha. Fucking Logan
Got a vasectomy.
Oh,
just goes, oh, yeah, he had a vasectomy. First off, you sound like goddamn Dolly Parton with a bass voice. Settle down now, boy. And second off, why would you just go out there and spill someone's fucking guts like that, no pun intended, out there in front of the world? That's fucking wrong. And honestly, man, I don't know what you were thinking with that. That's ridiculous. There wasn't much more to the podcast other than a couple of digs here and there about some hair transplants and this and that, some other ticky-tack bullshit, you know? But, you know, all around, that was kind of the major plot points that came from it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's another full-length video on this channel at the moment, and there's a couple of shorts. So if you want to go check them out, you're more than welcome to. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day.